Somebody who worked at the Justice Department. I want you folks watching to understand a couple of things. The Inspector General is an independent official, professional within the Department of Justice. This Inspector General was appointed by Barack Obama. Then you have the Office of Professional Responsibility, in this case, in the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They investigate professional wrongdoing or accusations. These are how the people in these offices are civil servants. They're experienced lawyers. And what's happening here, Sean, is when you look at it this way, folks, the director of the FBI, Comey, and the deputy director, McCabe, these were bad cops. They were bad cops. They were politicizing the FBI. They were obstructing certain investigations. They were pressing their foot on the gas pedal on other investigations. They are bad cops. So the institutions within the Department of Justice and FBI that deal with this have been raising red flags. The Inspector General, appointed by Obama, and the head of OPR, appointed by Mueller when he was the FBI director, they looked at it. Trump had nothing to do with it. They wouldn't care what Trump had to say anyway. They go to the Attorney General of the United States and say, you need to fire this guy. By the way, the new FBI director, who is apparently in the Witness Protection Program, he put the guy on suspension forever. So the new FBI director, the IG, the OPR, the Attorney General of the United States would have done a horrific miscarriage of justice if he had not fired McCabe, a bad cop who authorized leaks and then apparently lied about it to the IG and OPR. But they had the goods on him.
Under oath.
Under oath. Now, here's what's stunning. You have a media in this country, a Democrat Party, and some Republicans, like Lindsey Graham and Marco Rubio, they're very concerned for this man, that he might lose his pension. He's not going to lose his pension. Whatever money he put into his pension, he gets. It's just that you and me and Mr. and Mrs. Taxpayer don't have to contribute to his pension for the rest of his life. Why are we supposed to be concerned about this? This man may have committed crimes. He should be in front of a federal grand jury. The problem is we don't have a federal grand jury to investigate him or Comey. Now, Comey is like the mob boss of the operation. All this was happening under him. Stroke, Page, him, all the rest of it. All the rest of it. And Comey's a known leaker. He confessed because he didn't want to commit perjury. And now he's caught with his former deputy at a point here where the former deputy said, yes, everything I did, Comey knew, and as you pointed out, Comey testified he didn't. These are bad people who did bad things, and we expect the head of the FBI and the deputy head to do the right thing, but they were bad cops. I want to go on. All this tweeting, James Comey we talked about. Brennan, do the American people remember that this jerk, that his CIA was spying on staff for the Senate Intelligence Committee, and he denied it? And then he had to go back and apologize because under this jerk, they were spying on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Do people remember Samantha Power? Under this jerk, they were unmasking Americans left and right at historic numbers like never before. Her excuse? People were unmasking Americans with my name. She didn't know anything about it. You remember Eric Holder? That jerk repeatedly lied about his knowledge when it came to Fast and Furious. The only attorney general in American history to be held in contempt. He targeted journalists at the AP, at Fox. He refused to investigate abuses at the IRS. He was involved in the pardon of Mark Rich. Even the DOJ IG at some point testified senior officials under Holder were blocking access to the documents. Clapper, who can forget that jerk for lying in front of Congress about what they were doing to the American people with their spying? What we have here, unmasking, spying, leaking, covering up leak, lie about leaks. It would be nice if Trey Gowdy for once would go on television and say, you know, I really do think something's wrong here, and Mr. Mueller, you're investigating the wrong thing. He's on TV, and he says, we're not investigating Mueller, collaboration with the Russians anymore. We're investigating Russian interference with our election. That's his mandate. Well, maybe Mr. Gowdy can explain something to us. Then why isn't Mr. Mueller dragging Hillary Clinton in front of the grand jury, or the head of the DNC in front of the grand jury, or other people associated with the dossier in front of the grand jury? Why isn't he dragging his friend James Comey in front of the grand jury? He had to sign off on the FISA application. Or Mr. McCabe.
Or
he had
Rosenstein.
to sign off on the FISA application. Or Rosenstein. Or Loretta Lynch.
Yep.
Because Mr. Mueller's not investigating interference in the campaign. Because if he was, he'd do not only what I said, but he'd be investigating Comey and McCabe for interfering in our election. Here's the big story. The Obama administration did more to interfere with our election than the loathsome Vladimir Putin. Whether it's unmasking, whether it's Susan Rice refusing to allow the cyberspace folks to investigate, the Obama administration did more to interfere with our election than the Russians. That's the story.